Vinny. He says trade everyone but Wemby. Angry Twitter person. Exactly. All right, guys. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at something. Okay, we're taking a look at something. So this is Devin Vassell. All right. I know you probably don't know who this is. He's a shooting guard out of San Antonio, and believe it or not, he's actually pretty good. And he's been improving his game. So let's see what he has to say. This is Hector Ledesma. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is that how you say it? Vaseline. Yes. Vaseline. I have no idea what we're talking about. Who's that? Who that? Oh, Devin. He's in San Antonio. He plays for what's their name? The Cowboys, the Rangers. I don't remember. The Boots. I have no idea. Okay, the Horses, the San Antonio Horses. But he's pretty good. He's a pretty good guard. And this is Hector doing some phenomenal reporting here. He says, as Devin, if he's already seeing the effects of his increased aggression and getting to the rim. I am so happy that Devin Vassell is self-aware enough, and obviously these coaches know it as well, that he is actually being aggressive. Like, he can get his game going in any given game, right? Now it's to the point where it was where he misses threes and it's over. Like, as soon as he missed some threes, we just sit back and we're like, well, this is going to be a bad Devin game. Like, he's either hot or he's not. But now he goes into the game, and if he missed 7 shots in a row, I'm not worried, because I know that he's going to continue to take high quality shots. He'll eventually get himself going, and he'll just go off at the end of games. That's the type of player you want. Okay. It was the same thing. I'm not saying he's as great as these players. Okay. Not by a long shot, not yet. But this is the same thing we got with Manu. Same thing we got with Tony. We knew any given moment they could go off, even if they're having the worst game of the worst. We can rely on them when it's all said and done, because they will eventually get going. And I'm starting to feel that from Devin Vassell. All right. Happy birthday, Devontae Graham. I had no idea it was his birthday. All right. I don't even know who that is. Okay. Let's listen to what he has to say.
Leading up to the break, Devin, you looked like you were much more assertive going to the bucket. Yeah. You seeing it pay dividends in real time?
Yes, for sure. Like I said, I think that stretch to Atlanta, and I can't remember the other game, where I just couldn't make a three to save my life.
You know what? I feel better about myself when he says he can't remember the game, because every single time I go into live streams and I'm like, guys, what was that game that this specific thing I'm thinking about happened? And I can never remember, but he actually played in the games that he don't remember. So there you go.
I just had to figure out other ways to score, which was getting to the basket, which was, not just relying on the 3 ball. So, even now, even if the 3 ball is going down, I'm not just relying on that. I know I can get to the rim, and either whether it's me getting fouled, whether it's me drawing attention, throwing it to Vic, or finding others on the 3-point line, just me being aggressive is really helping the team.
Leading up to the break,
I love that last part. Hold on.
Me getting fouled, whether it's me drawing attention, I can get to the rim, and either whether it's me getting fouled, whether it's me drawing attention, throwing it to Vic, or finding others on the 3-point line, just me being aggressive is really helping the team.
Leading up.
There you go. And that kind of gets you going too, right? You don't have to score. It's just a matter of filling out the defense and knowing what you can and cannot get away with. And I really love the fact he looks so worried here. I don't know what Hector did to him. He looks so worried. Gosh, he looked worried. But yeah, you can just kind of get going at any given time, and it doesn't necessarily have to be the fact that your shot is literally going in the basket. Just the fact that you're able to fill out the defense, see what you can and cannot do, and facilitate for your teammates can give you the hot hand. You can get going in that respect. I feel like Devin Vassell has, and it's not all his fault, okay? It's not all his fault, but he did do it in college as well, where he'll get to a point where he can just kind of take a back seat, right? He is a fine catch and shoot, player. He spaces the floor well. He's going to play good defense. So even if his offense isn't that great, you still get utility with him being on the court. But with that being said, he's more than that, and he's better than that. So it's good that he's finally taking it upon himself to be more aggressive and help out his teammates and continuously be active when he's out there. It's nice, but it's not like I said, it's not fully his fault, because over the years, the situations that he's been in, he's had to be just a role player, right? A role player that just sits at the 3-point line, waits for, DeJounte Murray to do the pick and roll with, Jakob, and, just pass the ball. Like, that's what he had to be, right? He had to be that. And I feel like he's finally starting to realize, hey, I'm better than than I play sometimes, and it's nice to see. He's aggressive almost every single game, so he can have a bad game and it's still a good game just because he's been aggressive. But yeah, good stuff. Also, wanted to show you this. So this is kind of unrelated. All right, completely unrelated. Wait, this isn't it. That ain't it. Here we go. So speaking of DeJounte Murray, I guess it was somewhat of a segue. Not really. That was a terrible segue. Speaking of DeJounte Murray, this is kind of crazy. So looking here, I'll show you this. So big shout out to B-Ball Index. So when people were talking about improved defense, all that good stuff, it says here, a lot of people have done video footage of Trae Young's defense improvement and making it a point of emphasis. Still acknowledging he is bad. People from Athletic Ringer and other avenues. And he's basically just asking, hey, B-Ball, can you do something there? So we can see here that while Trae Young's defense has improved and he's definitely been more active, it's still bottom of the pack. All right, it's still bottom of the pack. I personally thought it would be slightly better than this. I know they have an overall pretty bad defensive team, but yeah, it's still pretty low. But he's so good offensively till this is something where I just kind of excuse. I'll just be real with you. It was the same thing with Tony Parker. I'm not saying Tony Parker was a terrible defender by any means, but he wasn't that great. Like, teams actively would try to bully Tony Parker, but at the same time, if you have one poor defender, or at least a defender out there that's trying, moving his feet, doing what he has to do, but can still get scored on, you can kind of hide. I know this is going to be crazy to say, but you can kind of hide those defenders at times. So you can have one defender that's not that great and get them out of the play. You can have them on the weakest link on another team. There's no there's no 4 superstars on a team right now. We don't really have to worry about that much. So he'll be doable, but he's so good offensively that I don't worry about it too much. But the one thing that I did find interesting is this person asked, well, what about DeJounte Murray? And this actually is very accurate to what I've been saying, is that DJ's defense has drastically gotten worse. And drastically gotten worse. It has plummeted compared to what people used to, or what he used to be, or what he was with San Antonio. And I think a lot of people, Spurs fans, just haven't necessarily paid attention or watched. And you can kind of see, like, no, he's not as good of an offensive player as Trae Young would be. And then you topple that with bad defense. It's like, I don't know. You got to, it's just how much can you take, right? It's how much can you take. So, like, by the way, this isn't going to happen. There's no situation or scenario in which I can imagine, especially with the way that he went out. People kind of forget that he called out, Brian Wright initially, essentially. When he was talking about Udoka, it was some like weird cryptic thing that he put out there. But the front office knows. I don't think that they're that much of a fan of DeJounte, to be real with you. I don't see him coming back, so I don't think this is an actual scenario. But just to compare, just show you guys, yes, DJ's defense has been bad too, and he's somebody with the frame that he should be a better defender. He's shown to be a better defender than he is right now. So there's that. DJ bought his uncle a Tahoe. What? Is this like a reference I'm not getting? I don't get it. We fleeced the Hawks? We most definitely fleeced the Hawks. I mean, obviously Trae would be point, but who would complement that lineup? I'm happy that you asked that. My dream, guys, this is my dream. All right, we'll end the segment. My dream is Trae Young, Devin Vassell, Modest Buzelis, Jeremy Sohan, and Victor Wembanyama. That would be sick. That would be absolutely nasty. And with the improvements of Sohan's 3-point shot, there will be no one in this lineup you can leave open. That would be perfect, in my opinion. I feel like Modest Buzelis, basketball IQ is so high. His shot is starting to get going. People said, oh, he's trash, he's not good. What are you talking about, Clan? It's finally getting going. You can see that he's made the adjustments. He is nasty. Switch Buzelis for Ricochet or Cody. I'm not mad at that either. I am not mad at you. I'm not going to sit here and fight with you. This is my personal favorite. I'm not going to fight with you on it, okay? I'm not going to fight with you on it. I don't think the Spurs really lose with those players you just named. I don't think they lose. Modest is not a good shooter. I don't know what to tell you. My boy can shoot. He can shoot. He'll be okay. He can get going. My preference is what you said. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you. Thanks for the super chat, Mr. Z. Thanks, man. I'm not mad at you.